Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, all the dignitaries present on the virtual dais and students across various departments. I, Professor Saurabh, would like to welcome all of you for the one-day national seminar on microfinance, the integrated development process organized by Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya in collaboration with Women's Studies and Research Center. I would now like to request Dr. Rajeshwari Rana, Director of Women's Studies and Research Center, to kindly give the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saurabh. This is my proud privilege to welcome one and all on this one-day national seminar on microfinance, the integrated process of development. I, Dr. Rana, on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Kapil Dev Mishra of Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya, Jabalpur, welcome Principal Dr. Jitendra Aherkar, BL Amlani College, Mumbai, and all the staff members of college. I also welcome all the students of Women's Studies Center, Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya, Jabalpur, on this very, very important topic today's microfinance integrated process of development. Our today's resource person, Dr. Naresh Sukhani ji, I also welcome him on behalf of Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya. Heartiest welcome as a resource person on this platform, as this is going to be a very, very important topic regarding microfinance, as India is just hosting presidency G20, and it has become a very important topic also, and vision for India is Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. When we say about Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, that means the world is one family, and in one family, contribution of women, participation of women, and their importance is very, very important, which is highlighted by our Honorable Prime Minister also. So they have opened the various lines for them, and recently our girls, they have joined Indian Army, Navy, and they have taken as Agniveers also, just to contribute their share in our total finance world, and with the making them really truly empowered. So this is very important movement for all of us in our history, where our participation is also included for the for seeing our economic growth also. So here the role of microfinance, where earlier also our women are doing through this small help groups, our women are doing a lot of work on these issues, and they are working on it, and they are contributing to our economy. In household matters also, they are, though they are spending a lot of time on household domestic chores, but it is not counted. If we start counting that also, that will also contribute a lot. So this is the right time, and our motto, one earth, one family, one future, and our linkage between inclusive development, gender equality, peace, security, full use of technological innovation, which we can make it. And we can see that India is progressing really fast and large. We have large economy. Our citizen-centric governance model takes care of even our most marginalized citizens. So while nurturing and creative genius of our talented youth, we have tried to make national development not an exercise on top-down governance, but rather a citizen-led people's movement. With this, I welcome one and all on the importance of this topic, microfinance, and I would like to invite Dr. Naresh Sukhani for his valuable address to the audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Naresh Sukhani. He is teaching full-time as an assistant professor for business management subject in UPG and Mithibai College. He has an experience of 12 years in undergraduate and postgraduate students for subjects like logistics, operations, IT, and management related subjects. He has done his PhD in Commerce, Trade, Transport, and Industry at University of Mumbai. He has received minor research funding from Mumbai University for Indian Railway Research Project. He published 12 UGC CARE listed research papers. He has cleared his NET and SET as well. He is the BOS member of Syllabus Drafting Committee for BCom BA program under the NEP. He has also done, he has completed Masters in Yoga Shastra as well. So a warm welcome to you, Dr. Naresh Sukhani ji, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, all good. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Saurabh, Dr. Rajeshwari Rana, for those lovely words. Warm good afternoon on a lovely winter season. This is Dr. Naresh Sukhani here. We will start with our further interaction. I would request all the participants to go on mute, please. Yes, thank you so much. All right. Before we start, specific in terms of, since as per our tradition, we need to start with some prayers. So here is today's prayer, which is the Swasti mantra, specifically Sarva Bhuvantu Sukhina Sarva Santu Niramaya Sarva Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashyati Saubhagya Bhavte Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, today our specific discussion is primarily on microfinance. Okay, now let's understand what exactly is microfinance. We'll have a small gist of it. It's a type of banking service that is provided to the unemployed or probably the low income individuals or groups who are majorly not having any means of gaining financial services. It means that अगर ये जो इंसान है, okay, specifically अगर कोई बैंक के पास जाता है और लोन के लिए मांगता है, तो लोन नहीं मिलेगा इसे, क्योंकि इसकी इनकम बहुत कम है, या तो he is not having any assets, he is not having any asset in terms of as a collateral to guarantee the bank that okay, I will repay it. Okay, so the bank also rejects it. So there is where the scope of microfinance come in. यहाँ पर microfinance आता है, जो it basically gives these low income groups an opportunity to become self-sufficient, and it gives them a means in terms of provides them funds, specifically in terms of by saving money, borrowing money, and then also not only borrowing money but also provides them an insurance. Specifically insurance का एक माध्यम ये होता है कि एक बैंक को भी गारंटी होती है कि हाँ, हमारे पैसे कहीं नहीं जाएंगे और हमारे ये पैसा वापस भी आने वाला है. ठीक है? So that is specifically goal of microfinance. Now primarily when we are talking about the number of operations in terms of microfinance, it did start almost around in 1700. तो 1700 की यादी में ये था. But as of now, अगर हम देखेंगे कि microfinance is almost around spread to close to around good amount of sectors. Okay, and we're going to see how many sectors. But the most beneficial aspect about this microfinance is that 90% जो microfinance loans होते हैं, they are being repaid. Now today, specifically our discussion or interaction is primarily to understand why are they being repaid, what is so unique about this microfinance model. All right, so that is what we are going to address. Now, very recently, just as Dr. Rajeshwari Rana also said that, okay, we are hosting as the presidency of the G20 summit. And one of the valuable number which our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi quoted, that the number of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana account are specifically almost around 41.75 crores. Okay, and out of which close to around 35.96 crores, which is around 359 million accounts are operative. Okay, now the reason why I'm actually quoting this number is because now I understand that because of financial inclusion, now Jan Dhan Yojana has given financial inclusion to everyone. Okay, so financial inclusion is actually kind of creating awareness about usage of finance, okay, or money across the low level or the middle level of middle level income people. Now this number is actually equivalent to almost around the third largest country in the entire world, which is United States, and their population is around 332 million. Okay, as you are able to see on my screen, and here there is a graph in terms of how microfinance, the borrowers outreach is. Now, if you might have seen here, we are close to around 27,774 rupees in terms of March, okay, in terms of crores. And when we are talking about the industry outreach specifically, it has reached to almost around 58 billion borrowers, empowering the lives of close to around 300 million people across. Okay, and you are able to see that, okay, how it is empowering. This is just an example. Okay, so there is where microfinance is actually playing a big role. Okay, and it's creating a drift. Now, how and where this money is coming in from for this microfinance? Now, the funding of microfinance, ये government and local bodies से fund होता है, commercial banks fund करती हैं, foundations and donors are providing the funds. Then there are support organizations which are actually providing this funds to the microfinance institute. Now, ये microfinance institutes different beneficiaries को fund provide करता है. Now, ये beneficiaries कौन है? ये beneficiaries एक example के माध्यम से मैं आपको समझाना चाहूंगा. Suppose this is the microfinancing institute, which is like a self-help group foundation, which is known as the apex or the topmost body, or एक मंडल समख्या in terms of that as a center point of contact, where all these cluster village organizations, say suppose ये गांव है, okay, and ये गांव में there are different self-help groups. Now, these self-help groups, SHG, are specifically a small group which are comprising from around 5 to almost around 20 people. And these all people will come together, okay, form a self-help group, and they would put in a request for loan financing for at this cluster village level. Then the request is put forward, okay, across to the Mandal Samkhya. So this is how microfinancing model specifically works. Okay. Now the best part is here in terms of microfinancing is a source of financial services based on two basic important mechanism. A, it works on relationship. Now, relationship is specifically works on trust. So there is where the trust factor comes in. The other factor is, which is most important, it's actually a group-based model. Okay. Now, group-based model मतलब एक कुछ चंद लोग आपस में आते हैं और एक ग्रुप फॉर्म करते हैं और वो ग्रुप एक प्रपोजल बनाता है कि हमें इतना फाइनेंस चाहिए. Now, the best part, सबसे बेस्ट पार्ट ये ग्रुप का ये है कि suppose if one person is lacking, the other members motivate that person to actually pay back the loan, and that is in reality the best part, okay, about this group. All right, so there is where these two mechanisms are in reality helping the delivery of these financial services to the beneficiaries. Now I'm again going to go back. Okay, so this best part is in terms of that these people are interrelated amongst each other, okay, which are forming a group. All right, and this group is now formed on the basis of relationship which we are sharing. So for example, my 4-5 friends get together to form up a new business, but for this business हमें पैसा चाहिए, फाइनेंस चाहिए. So हम फाइनेंस के लिए किसके पास जाएंगे? एक माइक्रो फाइनेंस इंस्टीट्यूट के पास जाएंगे जो हमें एक एज अ ग्रुप हमें फाइनेंस प्रोवाइड करेगा. नाउ अभी banks, they are not free for specifically providing finance, but what do they do when they see that, okay, there's a small group which is actually wanting to work without even checking the collateral, okay, they are going to provide a finance should, okay, they feel that, okay, there is some problem, there is some issue, then they will verify the facts. But in the microfinance institute, what happens is the collateral is specifically being waived. Okay, that's the best part. That's the reason why people with low class or probably relatively low income, no assets as a collateral, they are able to gain this microfinance, okay, which is specifically a loan. Okay, now these microfinance institutions are kind of extremely heterogeneous group. They are belonging to NBFCs, cooperative societies, and companies which are actually specified in section 725. Okay, they are a form of societies and trusts which are collaborating together to become as a microfinance institute. Okay, now all these institutions are operating in the microfinance sector, and they are almost around accounting to close to around 50% to 42% of the microfinance sector of loan portfolios. Okay, now some of the highlights which we would like to see in terms of the microfinance industry, that close to around 194 microfinance institutions are existing in the industry, which will include banks, small finance banks, NBFCs, money financing institutions, and NBFCs for that matter. Now, to give you a number, close to around 632 districts of India are specifically covered across India. In terms of geographical, जैसे भौगोलिक क्षेत्र के बारे में बात करेंगे, तो almost around 76%, which is 3/4 the majority of loan portfolio is from the rural sector, and rest is almost around 25% to 24% is from the urban sector. Okay, now these loans are provided for income generating activities like education, household expenses like health and housing. Okay, now before going forward, I would like to actually show you a main trail in terms of, or an ad about how these microfinance institutes work. Okay, so all of you, this will just also break in a monotony in terms of PPT and slides. So let's see a video or a grab of media in terms of how our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi is kind of conceptualizing the microfinance institutes. All right, give me a second. Are you able to see my screen? Are you able to hear the video?
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you.
Naresh sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Great honor to see you.
Yeah. I was traveling a bit out, so
All
I
right.
was.
Okay. Thank you for hosting such initiative.
Yeah.
And specifically Dr. Rajeshwari Rana also. Thank you to you, ma'am.
Record नहीं होता.
All right, let's continue.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
मैं मांगती हूँ तो बाबा पहले तो मना कर देते हैं, पर 2 दिन बाद खुद ही लेकर आते हैं.
अब अच्छा थोड़ा ही लगता है कि बच्चों को तिल्ली जितनी बात के लिए भी मना करना पड़े, पर क्या करें, हम तो रोज कर्ज लेकर रोज कमाकर रोज खाने वाले लोगों में से हैं. 2 महीने से पैसे चुकाए नहीं तूने, चल घर खाली कर. इस बार तो पैसे लिए बिना जाने वाला नहीं मैं.
ओके, जो आप ये देख रहे हैं, ये व्यवस्था क्यों आ रही है? बिकॉज अभी जो ये लोकल पर्सन है, वेदर इट्स अर्बन और रूरल एरिया, व्हेन दिस पर्सन इज एक्चुअली लिविंग, ओके, ही टू इन ऑर्डर टू मीट हिज डेली एक्सपेंसेस, जो डेली खर्चा है वो अर्न करने के लिए, sometimes he is not able to earn, he is not having that much opportunity. So ये क्या करता है, ये कोई प्राइवेट पार्टी से लोन लेता है. Now when he is not able to give that loan back, so क्या होता है, ये गुंडे आ जाते हैं, उनको परेशान करते हैं. Okay, so this is the problem in terms of unorganized loan financing. So the microfinance institute, in terms of as a function as such, it is creating a big difference in terms of the normal life of people. This is what it actually gives them, a secure guarantee that, okay, even if they're not able to provide, kind of fulfill the loan or prepay the loan, okay, there will be some collateral, or sometimes in terms of that self-help group specifically tries to help, motivate, supports such individuals. Okay, let's see forward.
ऐसे में हम क्या करें, आप ही बताइए. आखिर हमें भी समाज में रहना है. उसकी टोपी उसके सर. पैसे कमा कर हम किसको दें? घर वालों को या ब्याज वालों को?
अगर बैंक से पैसे मिल जाते तो?
क्या बैंक? हाँ, जैसे बैंक तो हमें देखते ही कहेगी, अरे साहब आइए, बैठिए, बताइए आपको कितने पैसे चाहिए, बिना गारंटी क्यों देगी बैंक हमें लोन? सपने इधर हाथ से नहीं होला, मुंह तक पहुंच जाए, यही एक सपना है भैया. हाँ, मेरा एक सपना है कि मैं इस सड़क से दुकान तक पहुंचूं. मेरी दुकान के सिर पर कर्जा ना रहे.
मैं अपने ब्यूटी पार्लर को और अपग्रेड करूं.
मैं सिर्फ काम की फिक्र करूं, पैसों की नहीं. मेरा सपना है मुझे कभी किसी के सामने हाथ न फैलाना पड़े.
पर बाबा कहते हैं कि सपने तो सपने होते हैं.
मान लीजिए ये देश की अर्थव्यवस्था का एक बहुत बड़ा पिरामिड है, जिसमें हर कोई मेहनत करके और ऊपर के लेवल तक पहुंचने की कोशिश करता रहता है. इस स्तर तक तो उनके साथ हर कोई होता है, समाज, बैंक्स, जानकारी, सुविधाएं. पर इस आखिरी स्तर में जो लोग हैं, उनके साथ कोई नहीं होता. न समाज, न बैंक्स, न जानकारी, न कोई सुविधाएं. इस हिस्से में 5.5 करोड़ से भी ज्यादा लघु इकाइयां हैं, यानी कि छोटे उद्योगकार, व्यापारी, सब्जी वाले, रिपेयर काम करने वाले, वाहन चालक, गृह उद्योग चलाने वाले और सड़क पर ठेला लगाकर
भाई ये अलग ही बच्चे होते हैं जो लीक करते हैं।
मुझे भी दिखाना है, मैंने तो कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ा।
Kindly request all participants to be on mute. Thank you.
ये साहूकारों के महंगे ऋण पर निर्भर रहते हैं, जिसके लिए वे 24 से 36% जितने ऊंचे ब्याज दर पर लगभग रोजाना पैसे उधार लेते।
अब ये नोट करेगा, ये जो ब्याज दर है, so almost around 24% to almost around 36%. Sometime it goes up till close to around more than 50% also. And at that cost, they are actually borrowing money from unorganized sector. Okay, please remember this. And this is actually a huge cost.
वैसे तो लघु स्तर पर भी तो बहुत सारी बैंक्स हैं, पर ये बैंक्स उन पर न तो भरोसा करती हैं, न ही उन्हें लोन देती हैं। तो क्या गरीब हमेशा के लिए गरीब ही रहेगा? हमें खुद भी उन पर भरोसा करना पड़ेगा और औरों को भी करवाना पड़ेगा। काम बड़ा मुश्किल था, पर अब नहीं तो कब? अब पहली बार सरकार ने किया उन पर भरोसा जिनके पास मेहनत और विश्वास के सिवाय और कोई पूंजी नहीं है, और पूंजी ही तो है उनकी सफलता की कुंजी। देश में पहली बार माइक्रो फाइनेंस के ढांचे को जड़ से बदलने के लिए उठाया गया है एक साहसिक कदम, जिसका नाम है माइक्रो यूनिट्स डेवलपमेंट एंड रीफाइनेंस एजेंसी। पूंजी, सफलता की पूंजी। एक भरोसा देशवासियों को कि देश आप पर पूरा भरोसा करता है। मुद्रा की शुरुआत होगी सिडबी के जरिए। सिडबी पिछले 25 सालों से देश में स्मॉल मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस को फंड करती आई है, जिसके साथ और अनुभव को लेकर मुद्रा पहुंचेगी अति लघु इकाइयों तक। गरीबी के खिलाफ इस महाअभियान में मुद्रा के साथ शामिल होंगे देश के माइक्रो फाइनेंसर्स, यानी कि MFIs, SHGs, सोसाइटीज, कमर्शियल बैंक्स, रीजनल रूरल बैंक्स, कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स, स्मॉल बिजनेस फाइनेंस कंपनीज, लास्ट माइल फाइनेंसर्स, स्टेट लेवल और रीजनल लेवल कोऑर्डिनेटर्स। मुद्रा इन मध्यस्थ स्थानों के जरिए अलग अलग विस्तारों में जाकर हमारी छोटी इकाइयों के नाम, काम और जरूरतों को पहचान कर उनका रजिस्ट्रेशन करेगी। मुद्रा इन मध्यस्थ संस्थानों को कम दरों पर पैसा देगी ताकि वे लोगों को भी कम ब्याज दरों पर लोन्स दे सकें। इस ढांचे के अनुसार मुद्रा 50,000 से लेकर 10 लाख तक की लोन्स देगी, 3 अलग अलग श्रेणियों के अंतर्गत। बहुत ही छोटे स्तर की इकाइयों के लिए 50,000 तक की लोन दी जाएगी। उनसे थोड़े बड़े स्तर के लिए 50,000 से 5 लाख तक की लोन दी जाएगी, और लगभग उनसे भी बड़े स्तर वाली इकाइयों के लिए 5 से 10 लाख तक की लोन दी जाएगी। चलिए, एक बार लोन मिल भी गई, पर धंधा तो आखिर धंधा होता है। किसी भी वक्त किसी भी वजह से खड़े खड़े 5, 10, 15,000 की जरूरत पड़ सकती है। तब क्या हमारे श्रमिक वापस वहीं जाएंगे, साहूकारों के पास? नहीं, ऐसी बिन बादल बरसातों के लिए ही आने वाले दिनों में दिया जाएगा मुद्रा कार्ड। कभी भी कोई भी आपात स्थिति में आप इस कार्ड का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं और महंगे पैसे को मुंह पर बोल सकते हैं कि माफ करो भैया, अब हमें आपकी जरूरत नहीं है। मुद्रा अपने आप में ही एक राष्ट्रव्यापी आंदोलन होगा, गरीब श्रमिकों के आर्थिक सुराज के लिए, जिसे पाने के लिए सरकार ने अपनी सरकारी मर्यादाओं से ऊपर बनाई एक नई आर्थिक व्यवस्था, जिसका मकसद है पढ़े लिखे युवाओं की एक पूरी पीढ़ी को और उनके सपनों को फंड करना। अब अगर कोई आपसे कहे कि ये तो गरीब है, इन पर कौन भरोसा करेगा, तब आप कहना कि हम पर भरोसा करेगा हमारा देश, हमारी सरकार। अब हमारे हाथ में होगी हमारी सफलता की कुंजी।
Okay, yes. So the story of success specifically begins at home with the people, within the people, and that is what the government is actually talking about. So यही हम कह रहे थे कि almost around 76% of the loan portfolio is primarily from the rural areas and 24% is from the urban. And in terms of the non-performing asset, which is suppose कोई पैसा नहीं देता है, which is specifically then automatically becomes an NPA, which is under 1%. And over the years, despite the external shocks like COVID or depressions, okay, still this NPAs in terms of microfinancing institutions have been under 1%. That is something which is quite very shocking, and we need to note this. Okay, the other highlights are specifically in terms of 99% of this microfinance are provided to women. Okay, which is from low income households, and good amount of majority in terms of good amount of majority in terms of 98% of these loans are being provided to joint liability groups. Now, what is this joint liability group? It is specifically provided in terms of, it's like a self-help group, which is sharing the liability in terms of amongst people between 5 to 10. Okay. Now, individually, they come under a joint liability group to specifically take up a loan, and they agree to support and repay each other's loan in terms of क्या होता है कि इससे difficulty nullify होगी. Okay, so specifically in terms of it saves on on the operating costs. Okay, yeah. Second is it also brings in efficiency in terms of how the specific in terms of loan financing is done. Okay, and leverages social collateral. Now, when 5 or 10 people are coming in together towards a group, then it helps in terms of underwriting process and reduces the risk of default. Okay, which is specifically quite very important in loan financing. Okay, now microfinancing in terms of has a very important parameter that okay, they are collateral free. Okay, and even in spite of being collateral free, since they are following a joint liability group of 5 to 10 people or sometimes 20 people, good amount of loan repayment is being done. Okay, but how much is this loan repayment capacity? Suppose मेरी तनख्वाह है कुछ 10,000 रुपए. Okay, तो मैं लोन इसका कितना repayment करूंगा? Not more than 50%. तो 10,000 का 50% कितना होगा? 5,000 रुपए. तो मैं जब भी लोन रीपे करता हूं तो मैं 5,000 रुपए से ज्यादा मैं नहीं रीपे करूंगा. तो ये एक लिमिट मैक्सिमम रखी जाती है. Okay, so there are certain rules, regulations which are being followed. Of course, it is collateral free, but yes, the repayment capacity is not more than 50% of the monthly household income. Okay, now there are some problems. Why this microfinancing institution is not still so huge? But yes, new microfinancing institutions or schemes like Mudrang is actually creating a lot of waves. We have also seen how Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is acting. We have seen the numbers, which is as equivalent to the population of United States. Okay, but it is not so significant how it is specifically in India. Okay, here comparatively to 65% in Bangladesh, the microfinancial institution outreach. Okay, in India, it is only on almost around lesser than 2-digit numbers. Okay, second, women may be more better or reliable clients, but in order to increase their outreach, money financing institutions cannot ignore men as clients. So we understand that सबसे ज्यादा बेनिफिट इसको वुमेन इन ये सुविधा से वुमेन को होना चाहिए, but which is not really happening. The reason is why, because women of this country are specifically more involved, and it's being seen that across the years, okay, now they are getting empowered. So the cycle of empowerment is now switching over, is now turning the slide. But this slide turning is observed majorly in an urban area, not in rural area. Okay, so there is where these money financing institutions are specifically creating a big change. So अगर आपको कोई ब्यूटी पार्लर खोलना है या कुछ छोटा काम करना है या कुछ फाइनेंस चाहिए, so specifically ये माइक्रो फाइनेंसिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस आपको ये प्रोवाइड करेंगे. All right. Second is in terms of as comparatively to Bangladesh and India, MFIs are charging some amount of significant interest rates. Okay. Not only this, as of now, post 2014, we have seen that there is a subsidized credit which is given for lending activities, but that is not specifically enough for recovering the operation cost from these borrowers. All right. Now, coming to some numbers, if you would observe, since almost around 2012 March, okay, the closing numbers are, we are seeing that there is good amount of 17,264, okay, microfinancing institutions are specifically the outreaches, and that's the volume, okay, and from different banks, NBFCs, SFBs, NBFCs, money financing institutions, others, okay, see the magnitude, and slowly, steadily, it is actually growing. Okay, and now we have reached to almost around 2,85,441 crores. Okay, now here there's a big pivotal role which is played by NABARD, okay, which is specifically financing initiatives with respect to rural and agricultural development initiatives. Okay, now this is coming in from the Banking Financial Corporation, okay, source. Considering the self-help groups banking link program, okay, the outreach and the CAGR report, almost around 17% since March. Okay, the overall size of this universe is almost around close to 4 lakh some 82,600 crores. Okay, and this is as of now June 2022 standing in terms of how many number of entities are there, how many number of unique borrowers are there, okay, how many amount of active loans are there, and how much is a portfolio. Okay, so that's the total number which you're talking about. That's the outreach specifically. Okay, what is the need of microfinance? Okay, people with little or clients with little and no cash income, they can easily approach microfinance. Banks incur a sufficient cost, substantial cost to manage the client's account. Okay, this is specifically the nominal banking financial corporation. Okay, but this is also being appended with a fixed cost of loan processing. So क्या होता है कि जब भी suppose bank is operational, there is good amount of cost which is involved in terms of processing loan, which is in reality nullified for microfinancing institutions. Okay, and banks are not able to provide loans to people with little or no cash at all. Okay, so there is where this advantage is. Okay, and many of the people with either low assets or no collateral, etc., or if they have defaulted, they're not being provided loans. So there is where they are forced to actually take loans from money lenders who are charging almost around good amount of 50% or sometimes 24% of interest also. Okay, currently जैसे हम बात करेंगे, total amount of good amount of 1.1 billion, okay, is being served by 50,000 commercial banks, okay, 12,000 cooperative bank offices, 15,000 regional banks, rural banks, and 1 lakh primary agricultural societies. But still, this is not enough. We need to do more, specifically in terms of going forward. Okay, there are other parts which are actually associated with microfinancing institutions. I guess so. We are running short of time, but yes, in short, I will actually cover something which is known as micro insurance. Just exactly like how life insurance works in, these schemes are provided with a collateral in terms of an insurance. Should something happen to that person, okay, the insurance take care of the entire loan financing. Okay, for entrepreneurs specifically, this is important. Micro leasing, say suppose आपको कोई business start करना है जिसके लिए आपको कुछ जगह चाहिए या कुछ equipment चाहिए, तो माइक्रो लीजिंग के फंक्शन के थ्रू आप कुछ पैसा ले सकते हो MFI से for your business activities. Okay, now we have all heard about Grameen Bank model, okay, specifically which is running in of course also got the Nobel award as well. Okay, here is where in terms of how a person living across below poverty line forms a group, okay, within some days of time obtains a loan as on the basis of a group formation. Okay, receives some mentoring, some training and counseling in terms of how to repay that loan, how to succeed in business through that self-help group or some mentoring group, then is able to repay that loan. वो पैसा चुका सकता है almost around the process shows that within almost around 6 to 12 months the loan is being repaid, and once the loan is being repaid, there are high possibilities in terms of the credit history of the loan borrower improves, and that is how the new loan is actually being also given to grow the business further. Okay, now what MFIs have basically done, they have created financial inclusion. Okay, they have given a livelihood, which is sustainable livelihood and opportunity. They have given financial independence. They have provided stability. They have created employment. And the country is driven by people who are creating employment, So this, which is actually leading to poverty elevation, improving the standard of living, per capita income of people, creating self-esteem, confidence aa jata hai. Of course, financial literacy is there, and all this is actually leading to a good amount of financial inclusion altogether. Okay, we will quickly skip this and we will go forward. Yes. Any questions from the audience up till now? Any questions from the audience up till now? In short, we have tried to understand कि हमने ये समझा है कि microfinance institutes कैसे काम करते हैं, क्या statistics है आज तक, and if you are able to see in terms of hold on, give me a second. Yes, so we come back to this screen where we are able to see in terms of what exactly is the impact in terms of microfinancing institutions in India. And this is the add-on, the current report, specifically in terms of microfinancing sector. Now, quite very important for us, बहुत ज़्यादा important है ये हमें note करने के लिए कि see the outreach in terms of the number, specifically in terms of close to around 2,85,000, which is quite very significant. And that is where we are looking forward to increase this, and new employment opportunities are also being increasing with new advent of technology. Financing, financial inclusion is also improving. All right, with this, I would actually rest my understanding, since I was actually given only 30 minutes for deliberation. Any questions if you have, please ask.
Hello. Nashkar, hi, message.
Yes, over to you, Saurabh.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for that amazing presentation, plus the audio-visual video that you showed, and it gave an immense and another perspective of this microfinance that I wasn't aware of. So thank you so much, sir, for that. And now I would like to introduce Dr. Shraddha Shukla, the IQAC coordinator from the Shailendra College. Ma'am, are you here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. It is really, I'm very glad to share my views on this topic, because I have done my PhD on this topic itself. So 2016, I submitted my dissertation regarding the women empowerment contribution given by SHGs. So as I just went through Naresh's presentation, he has guided you regarding the basic conceptual framework of how SHGs actually perform. But what I'll tell you, these figures and facts, what is actually displayed on government websites and the actual situation is very, very different. When I went for data collection for SHGs, it was like a huge gap where the actual SHG members are not aware how does government is helping them out with different schemes. So basically the problem is that the women who are actually participating, they are you can say illiterate. And what I saw on the many documents, there is a village in charge for 4 villages, there is one in charge who will look after the development of SHGs. So the village in charge, the basic qualification is 10th. So what I saw, the village in charge used to fill up the form of the SHGs, which are to be submitted in the government offices or district development authority offices. So whatever activities they were conducting, or you can say it is like they used to call some speaker who will motivate the women. But what I saw in their documents, there were a lot of discrepancies. And since the women are illiterate, they don't know how much government is giving them, like for SHGs or for contribution. See, there was a lot of gap. That's why, since SHGs have started from 1992, but if you see, like why government has started building up SHGs with bank linkage only, because there were a lot of corruptions between government and SHGs. The money which was sanctioned in cash was not actually reaching the government, actually reaching the women. So that's why they linked SHGs with the banks. Whenever if government is providing any asset, like loan or anything, like whatever help they are giving, it will be financial help will be given to SHGs through banks only. But what I saw, the females, they are illiterate, they don't know to fill up the checks, and the village in charge of the SHGs, they will fill up the check, they take their signature, basic signature, so they don't know also how much amount is withdrawn. So that was the second thing which I noticed. First thing was like there was no counseling how SHGs will be growing up. Like they organize SHGs melas like every year in Maharashtra and in Thane district. Every year, whatever SHGs are actually registered, government organized SHG melas where they can interact with, where different SHGs participate and interact with each other and share their you can say how they have succeeded and how they have progressed, what is the change in their financial status. But again, the third thing which I noticed, it was like, what about those SHGs who have been shut down? There is no record in government offices. I'll tell you, if 10 new SHGs are coming up, out of that only 3 SHGs survives. What about the rest 7 SHGs? They are closed down because of loss, because of lack of financial assistance. So why not reviving those SHGs? If women have come up and they have opened up a group, they have started like small business of poultry, animal husbandry, floriculture, then why these SHGs have been shut down? So what I notice in my while doing my PhD, it is like the government data which is actual on website has lot of discrepancies, and the status of women in the for this like SHGs or members of SHGs is not so much good. uh, we have some successful SHGs also, but there are many SHGs who have shut down by making loss. So again, what I say, like I suggested, it is like whatever SHGs are there, first it should be registered with government. Second thing, it should be like whether the SHGs are like how they are performing. Their annual account should be audited properly. A proper chartered accountant or a person who can guide the SHGs need to be appointed. Third thing, like every year, you can say if SHGs are linked through bank or through NGOs, a consolidated report through NGOs or bank linkage program should be taken. Like if government is providing the finance, how is that finance utilized? Like when I was collecting data, I found out that there were some of the women who were not able to contribute 100 rupees monthly contribution to SHGs also. This is the practical situation. So we talk about like through this microfinance tool, we can eradicate poverty, but actually when it comes to contribution, nobody talks about how a poor people will contribute to this particular type of institution and how they will progress. So what I found out that government needs to first educate people. If literacy is there, then what will happen? They will understand how to go about business, how to handle all these things. Now you are like government is providing finance to a nodal officer. But actual how it is working, the audit should be done on village level also. So if nodal officer is reporting that everything is fine, but still government should, you can say, surprise visit, they should take it on, so that they come to know what exactly the situation is. Sometimes what is happening, SHGs are working 2-3 years, they work, then they shut down with the loss. Then again, what is happening, it is like it is adding to like deterioration of women's status. So basically in SHGs, women are tried to like their standard of living has to be raised, but at village level it is very difficult to say that actually it is working or not. So there are changes, but what exactly we require, that is not happening. Numbers are increasing, but actual what is the changes in their financial situation or in their status of living, standard of living, how they, whether they are getting command over in their family in financial decision, that is a big question mark. So females are like, SG is raising the standard of women, but again it is a big problem, like how actually it is contributing to their growth is a big question mark. So government is publishing numbers that this many SHGs are coming up, these many women are getting benefit, but what about those SHGs who has been shut down because of loss? Why government is not taking initiative to bring up those SHGs, to empower those women? I am not negative about that, but still what I saw, the situation was very bad. So there were some messages like in Thane court also, what I saw, that women are serving a food and all that. They have made a SHG group, and through that they are helping their family. So there were some SHGs who are working very nicely, but when you go to grassroots level, you find lot of loopholes where these SHGs need to be strictly monitored. And how this money is utilized, it should be properly audited. There are a lot of flaws. What paperwork I saw, it was easily manipulative. Like anybody can write anything on the paper, what need to be submitted to the DRDO for accounts and all that. You write what you have conducted and you just write the amount, and the SHG members, they used to make thumb impression on that, and it has to be submitted to the DRDO. The next thing what I found in government offices were that the records what SHGs have submitted, it does not tally with the records on the website. It is like, okay, there are many agencies who are submitting physically the annual accounts, and what we find out or what we get on the website, that data is totally different. So because of that, what I say, SHG is a good tool to eradicate poverty, to uplift standard of women, and financially you can say make them well off. But it should be monitored properly, and it should be like government should actually work out different scheme for different types of villages. You can say. There were some villages where there was only scope for floriculture, there was only scope for animal husbandry, there is only scope to sell some spices or masalas. So there, how you need to cater and how to grow their business, those type of camps are not organized. And when we talk about urban areas, SHGs, they have access to lot of resources, they can access to banking facilities also, and lot of things like which can help them to grow their business. But when we come to urban area, when we come to rural areas or semi urban areas, these kind of things like where you need to teach them management skills, like how to handle the finances, how to grow up, how to advertise, how to market your do marketing of your product, that is not there. So basically this is adding to the losses of SHGs. And uh, it is tool of empowerment, no doubt. Like in a country like India, where women's status is still not at par to the male, so here SHG should be promoted, but I think so it should be monitored properly. Until we don't monitor them properly, then what will happen? All the money which government has allocated for development of these SHGs will be wasted. That's the reason NGOs are also participating in this. Bank linkage programs are encouraged so that SHGs get banking habits, like they get used to these banking habits. But still, when I was collecting data, I found in 4 villages, you don't have a single bank also. 3-4 villages, you don't have a bank. You just have a communal hall where all women have like a meeting has been conducted for, regarding the SHGs monthly, or in 1.5 month meeting is conducted where females come up and they progress how they are working, and it is shared with the block officer or the nodal agency. Rest, nothing is arranged for them. So basically, there is no upliftment. Like women are collecting money, they are trying to increase their financial standards, but still, problem is that there needs to be proper counseling, proper management skill has to be there, and the agencies or the SHGs which have been shut down, it has to be revived. Then only we will be able to, you can say, get the actual aim which for which SHGs have been made up. Yes. Any doubts regarding regarding the status? Yes. Saurabh sir?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. A deep-rooted cause that you talked about the SHGs and everything. And it is really a concern that we should, as practicing researchers and everything, we should look after it. And I hope something is done for that. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce, thank you. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Pratima Singh, Principal of Chandraban College. Ma'am. Ma'am, are you here? I guess there is some technical issue. Pratima ma'am, are you here?
Yes, I have just joined.
Oh, yes, yes. Welcome, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You can over to you, ma'am. You can continue.
I can start? Okay.
Yeah.
Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. A famous quote by Helen Keller is appropriate to describe the spirit behind women's self-help group and their entrepreneurial success stories. Well, good afternoon, all of you. I'm Dr. Pratima Singh, Principal of Chandraban Sharma College at Powai, Mumbai. At the outset, let me express my honest gratitude to Principal Dr. Jitendra Herkar and Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya for providing me opportunity to express my views on women's self-help group and entrepreneurship in today's national seminar, which is organized by Women's Studies and Research Center at Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya. Well, let me start about the self-help group. So self-help groups are the informal association of people who come together to find ways to improve their living conditions. Let me express in simple language. 10 to 20 rural poor, especially women, they come together having common socio-economic problem. They save some small amount regularly, deposit in a common fund to meet the members' need and provide collateral-free loan for starting entrepreneurial ventures or even for meeting their emergency need. So this is self-help group. As all of us know, the people in the rural area have very limited access to the financial facilities by banks and other financial intermediaries. The problem is also of the collateral security. And also we are aware that the problem of employment and income generation in the rural people, especially among women. So self-help group is really a problem-solving situation. So this self-help group is encouraged by Government of India for self-employment and poverty alleviation program. The features of self-help group are village-based rural people, basically to solve the problem of the rural unemployed and rural poor people. Mostly women, self-help group have been successful mostly in the women, having common socio-economic background. The common collective savings of these women are deposited in a bank. And from that, the common saving, the amount is granted to the people who are needy or women who is needy who wants to start some entrepreneurial venture. Also, there's a bank linkage program where loans are given by the banks. So NABARD's bank linkage program also authorizes the banks to give loans to such women collateral free at a very meager rate of interest. But the thing is, the rule is savings first and credit later. So unless these women save and make their own corpus, additional loan will not be given by bank. Based on the corpus, the loans are sanctioned by the banks. So for starting the entrepreneurial ventures, the microfinance is given by self-help group. Normally, to begin with, there are facilitator or animator who organize and channelize these women to start the self-help group. Such people who facilitate or who are the animators, they are retired teachers, NGO functionaries, bank staffs, or retired government servant, or health workers. They come forward, they give the information, and these women come together. They are explained the procedure about starting their own savings, depositing in bank, and about starting their guidance about their entrepreneurial journey. The need for self-help group is especially in the rural areas because of the credit and financial services are not available to such people and their inability to provide the collateral security. Plus, the community network is also weak in the rural areas. The significance of self-help group in the rural area is this majorly to provide a source of employment, source of income generation to start the entrepreneurial journey, where not only the person who is starting, but also the other people get employment. It reduces the dependency on the agricultural and allied sector, because only agriculture may not be able to provide employment and income generation to such a vast people. So therefore, starting a small enterprise like handicraft making, tailoring, grocery store, or a tool repair shop, this kind of activities can provide employment and income generation to the rural poor as well as to the other people. Secondly, the gender equality. Self-help group empower the women, instill confidence in them, develop their leadership skill. Such empowered women actively participate in the Gram Sabha and other elections. So not only they themselves gain confidence, but also they become leader themselves and help other women in developing their leadership skill and their income generation. The financial inclusion, which is always the aim of the government, can be fulfilled through self-help group. The NABARD linkage program, whereby various banks, the cooperative bank and government bank, they provide easier finances to the self-help group, and the dependence on the traditional money lenders who give based on collateral security at a very high interest rate that can be reduced. So alleviation of poverty, which is the main aim of the government, which society has to achieve, can be achieved through self-help group. Now the government support to self-help group. Government of India is promoting helping the self-help group through its various programs, and the flagship program is Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, that is National Rural Livelihood Mission. Under the Ministry of Rural Development, the National Rural Livelihood Mission helps to ensure that at least one woman from each rural household is brought into this. Till now, they have mobilized up to 55 lakhs women for self-help group. The purpose of at least one woman or only one woman is more and more families can be added in this. So National Urban Livelihood Mission is also there, but today we will focus on the rural area and the women's. NABARD's bank linkage program, NABARD's self-help group bank linkage program is the largest microfinance program in the world, whereby the banking and financial sector is associated with the self-help group. Regional Rural Bank, Cooperative Bank, and other banks are also associated in this. Then NGOs play an important role in channelizing self-help group by organizing, nurturing, and enabling credit linkage to self-help group with the help of banks. I would like to share the success stories of women's self-help group in Madhya Pradesh. First case study is from Chambal, Madhya Pradesh, which is, Chambal is infamous for the poorest male-female ratio. A group of 10 women from Durkanda village of Chambal division, that is Morana district. The 10 women group, they took a loan of 1 lakh under National Rural Livelihood Mission and started business of dry mushroom. Unfortunately, with the onset of COVID, this business failed and they were left in debt of 50,000 due to COVID lockdown. Now we can imagine the kind of criticism which they faced because of this business failure and COVID lockdown. Everybody started advising them, women should not be doing business, they should sit at home. But these strong women, with their courage, they started making face masks from April 2020. They also invited 100 other women from different villages to become the part of mask making business. Their enormous hard work changed their destiny. These women, they handled their families, this mask making business, and they made 83,000 masks from May to November 2020. They earned 8.3 lakhs and made a profit of 4.3 lakhs out of this. Now, these women have started many more successful ventures like Didi's Cafe, stitching centers, and many of them are sole breadwinners of their families. Another success story is of Lakshmi Mahila self-help group of Dhumli village. So Lakshmi Sakhi Mandal comprises of 12 women members, all of whom belong to the backward community. Adversity and poverty brought them together, and the strong-willed women started a shop at Gramhat, located at the tourist spot of Dhumli village. The capital for the shop was raised by utilizing the group's monthly saving, women's monthly saving, which began with a per member contribution of rupees 100 each. The shop sells items like artifacts made of china clay, chini mitti, handicraft items, cutlery, and these items are sourced from nearby town of Rajkot, Junagadh, etc. While a few members, women members, work at the shop, the others remain associated with daily wage work and agricultural activities. The Gramhat shop has now become an important source of sustainable income for supporting their families. The members of the Lakshmi Mahila self-help group have now become pillars for growth and sustainability for rest of their family members, an example of their hard work and success story. In Bhanwad Taluka, more than 4,400 women are included in self-help group who have saved rupees 80 lakhs and have done the internal lending of around 50 lakhs and have proved to be a supporting hand for their families. Another success story is of Naval Dei from Rajasthan. Naval Dei is a story of 35 years old lady, wife of Govardhan Lal Raigar, who belongs to village of Piplai in Rajasthan, around 13 kilometers away from Pratapgarh and 70 kilometers from Alwar. Though her husband was a graduate, as the village was backward, he only found work as a daily laborer in Jaipur and earned 2,500 a month, a meager amount. Naval Dei herself worked on weaving carpet and was able to earn with difficulty hardly rupees 2,000 per month, which was not sufficient for her large family. She had some land, but it was uncultivable and there was no irrigation facility. Naval Dei's life changed completely after she connected with Ganesh Mahila Self-Help Group set up in her village in November 2007, which is supported by the trust under Sak De Vikas initiative. Though she was illiterate, Naval Dei was quick to connect with self-help group and took a loan to help out finance her own carpet weaving business. Naval Dei's husband soon joined her and stopped migrating to Jaipur. Naval Dei also trained as a village animal health worker, Pashu Sakhi, and prescribed medicine to cure livestock. She has become the self-help group's livestock facilitator and oversees better livestock management training. As a Pashu Sakhi, she earns an additional 3,000 every month, and she is happy now. She says, I earn money and it makes me happy. I spend it on my basic needs and my 3 children. As she benefited so immensely, took from her self-help group, she grew determined to carry her group further and was chosen as its leader. Thanks to her efforts, 6 self-help groups have been formed in her village Piplai, and they in turn have set up with the support of microfinancing, animal input shop that earns well. All the self-help groups have received goat through goat project. Naval Dei herself has 3 goat, with the result that her family received 2.5 liters of milk daily, which was not possible earlier, and are getting green vegetables as well. So with these success stories of self-help group, we can conclude that self-help groups really play a great role in poverty alleviation, employment generation, and overall women empowerment, which is the aim of the government, which we want the society to improve upon. With these words, I end my presentation here. Thanks a lot for providing me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that amazing stories.
Pratima ma'am, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Would you like to say something?
Rajeshwari ma'am, you are there?
Yeah. Yes.
Ma'am, we wish to propose you the closing remarks as well as the vote of thanks from your side.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll do this. I, Dr. Rajeshwari Rana, on behalf of Women's Studies Development Center, Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya, Jabalpur, extend a vote of thanks on behalf of our center. And I would like to thank, first of all, Dr. Jitendra Aherkar, Principal BL Amlani College, Mumbai, for his support and for organizing in collaboration with Rani Durgavati Vishwavidyalaya Women's Studies this conference, Microfinance, the integrated process of development. I would also like to thank Dr. Naresh Sukhani sir, who as a resource person shared his views on this conference and explained about the actual economic status of our country, role of special help groups, and how we can further improve the economic condition of our country. And he has given the full sight on various aspects of microfinance details and what is the present status under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana and how many accounts are operating right now and how we have improved from 17-18 to present scenario. So it was a wonderful information and presentation on his part. Thank you so much. I also thank Dr. Shraddha Shukla. She was a research student and she has worked on the self-help groups and she has shared her views and the difficulties faced by these self-help groups and how government monitoring is required. And this is wonderful scheme to eradicate poverty, but how this can be uplifted and more women can participate, more self-help groups can be strengthened, and they can definitely contribute in the economy of our country. As we all know, ours is very largest economy, and there are so many sectors and especially marginalized sectors which we have to pool in this and to uplift all these issues. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Pratima Singh ma'am, principal ma'am. She has also shared her wonderful success stories and excellent presentation in today's conference. Her stories, especially of Madhya Pradesh, Chambal region, Morena village, and how they have done excellent work in these fields, and how these self-help groups are beneficial to improve the status and economic status of our country. So I'm really thankful to all the three resource persons. They have spared their valuable time and they have shared their ideas, their views, their success story in this seminar. As we all know that we have to work as one earth, one family, one future, and our task force on macro and even microeconomics, trades and livelihoods. These are very, very important issues where we have to work really very hard, and we have to touch each and every aspect of life which is related with our economy. So how to strengthen our economy and how to incorporate various other organized sectors and to make the India's economy stronger, we all have to work in this field, and role of women, gender equalities, these we cannot ignore at this time. So thank you so much, Dr. Jitendra and all the resource person and Dr. Saurav for conducting this program. Very well conducted this program. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank our women's studies staff also, our colleague, Dr. Jaya Singh, our students, those who are included in this program today, and other participants, and especially girls of Kasturba Girls Hostel, those who have participated and taken a part in this conference. So once again, my heartfelt thanks to each and everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those closing remarks. And I'm still yet to get my PhD degree, ma'am. Not doctor yet.
Okay, okay. Wish you all the best. Soon you'll be a doctor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you. And now with this, sir is also over here.
Yeah.
So please. Sir.
Dr. Jiten,
hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
You can stop the YouTube.